What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be ranking my top 20 LEGO minifigures of all time. These are minifigures that I think are the best quality, the best designed and the best printed, so let's jump straight into it. Starting us off in the 20th place we have Shadow the Hedgehog. This minifigure appears in set 76995 Shadow's Escape. Overall, I'm really impressed with basically all of the LEGO Sonic minifigures, but for me the Shadow minifigure stands out the most. I personally think LEGO absolutely nailed the look of Shadow, and the printing is simply phenomenal. You've got great printing on the arms, the legs, and of course that moulded headpiece is absolutely fantastic, and the colouring on that headpiece is awesome. By far my favourite Sonic the Hedgehog character and minifigure, and for me it just had to make the top 20 list. On to 19th place now, we have an absolute classic LEGO minifigure, that being Redbeard. This minifigure has appeared in so many LEGO sets, 15 to my counting, and it's one of the most classic and most recognisable minifigures of all time. It just wouldn't have been right for me to do a best LEGO minifigure list without him appearing in at some point. The printing on the minifigure now is starting to look a bit old, but there is a lot to like about this minifigure, in particular the peg leg, which was a brand new feature at this time. I mean, we're going back to the very beginning of LEGO, and then you've got the printed pirates hat, which looks awesome. In at 18th place we have the Lady of the Brave, which appears in set 70678, the Lion Knight's Castle. A fantastic minifigure, probably one of my favourite minifigures from the castle theme. And why this minifigure made the list is because, in my opinion, this has the best printed cape of all time. You won't find a better cape and more detailed cape in all of LEGO. This one really does take the cake for that. The colour, the design, the printing, it all comes together so well. It's just an absolute phenomenal cape. And it complements a really good minifigure in its own right. The Lady of the Brave minifigure is amazing. It's got great printing on the legs, the torso, and it also comes with some really nice armour. In at 17th place is Beetlejuice, which appears in set 71349, which is actually a Beetlejuice Dimensions pack. So not an orthodox LEGO set in itself, but the minifigure is absolutely awesome. Everything from the hairpiece to the face printing to the amazing implementation of the suit on this minifigure is just fantastic. And LEGO even went one step further as to have printing on the side of the arms, and it just really rounds out this minifigure very well. And it's a minifigure that will really stand out in your minifigure collection. Moving on to 16th place we have Poison Ivy from set 70908, with that LEGO set being the Scuttler, which was a LEGO set from the Batman movie LEGO theme, which in terms of minifigures, that theme was fantastic. It has produced some of the best DC minifigures ever, and that's exactly what I think about this Poison Ivy minifigure. It's just absolutely awesome. There really isn't any flaws on this minifigure. It comes with dual moulded arms with detailed printing, great printing on the legs and torso. It's even got Ivy printed on, so there's just so much detail there. Even that white flower just looks amazing. At 15 is a bit of an OG minifigure, that is the Green Goblin from set 4851. There's actually two different variations of the OG Green Goblin minifigure, but I opted for the one with the gold eyes, as by far that's my favourite one of the two. It's just far more accurate to the movie and it looks fantastic. Obviously that is the best part about this minifigure, that being the mask. It looks very menacing, and the printing on the chest and legs again is fantastic. So for such an old minifigure, this one really is chef's kiss. Moving on to 14th place now we have the king himself, King Theoden. This minifigure appears in set 9474, the Battle of Helm's Deep, probably one of my favourite LEGO sets of all time. And to go with such an epic LEGO set you need an epic minifigure. And minifigures really don't come much better than King Theoden, simply because the armour on this minifigure is absolutely out of this world, probably some of the best pieces of armour we've seen in all of LEGO. Moving on to 13th place now we have Harley Quinn from set 70840, Welcome to Apocalypseburg. Another LEGO set from the Batman movie theme. I personally rate this Harley Quinn minifigure as the best DC minifigure money can buy, and she is now such an expensive minifigure, it's actually insane. Another fantastic minifigure. You've got printing just about anywhere there can be on a minifigure. The face printing looks great, as well as the hairpiece, which has the blue and red tints of hair. It just looks absolutely amazing, and it's just the perfect Harley Quinn minifigure. Moving on to 12th place now we have Zombie Captain America, and this minifigure came in the Marvel CMF Series 1. And I just love this minifigure for how kind of R-rated it almost feels. So I'm really surprised that LEGO made the Zombie Captain America instead of other Marvel characters they could have gone with. But hey, I'm not moaning. This minifigure is fantastic. I really love how kind of ragged and uneven this minifigure looks. How tattered his outfit is, as clearly he's been alive, or should I say undead, for some time. I also love the Captain America shield accessory and how battered it looks. It's just fantastic. An amazing minifigure that you can still pick up for relatively cheap. On to 11th place now, we have the ARC Trooper from set 9488, the Elite Clone Trooper v Commando Droids. It's just the perfect minifigure, it really is. This clone minifigure is by far my favourite clone minifigure, which is insane because you can still grab this minifigure for about $25–30, and in my opinion that is worth every penny. It's just such a shame that LEGO don't make minifigures like this anymore. The care and detail that has gone into this minifigure is absolutely astounding. You've got the cloth waistcoat, the cloth shoulder pads, it just looks fantastic, it comes together so well, and it really does look like one of the Republic's most elite soldiers. Moving on to 10th place now, we have the Ice Emperor from set 70678, the Castle of the Forbidden Emperor. Now I'm not into Ninjago at all, I know next to zero about the theme, but what I do know is that this minifigure is out of this world. I really love all the trans blue on this minifigure, all the ice that's kind of popping out of him. It's a great way to portray his magical ice powers. You've got it coming out of that highly detailed torso chest piece, just looks brilliant. Moving on to 9th place, we have Boba Fett from the original Cloud City set. I mean, this is just one of the most classic minifigures of all time. It would be wrong not to include this minifigure on this list. He's also one of the most expensive minifigures on this list. What I love about this minifigure is that he still retains his classic look, but he still has printing that is just as good and holds up to this day. And of course, one of the things that makes this minifigure so special is that special arm printing, which was extremely rare for minifigures dating back to the early 2000s. Moving on to 8th place, we have Moon Knight from the Marvel CMF Series 2. One of my favourite minifigures in my collection, this Moon Knight minifigure is without flaw. Dual moulded legs with printing on the front and side, amazing arm and torso printing, and a really good hood piece with that printed Moon Knight symbol on it. This was by far my favourite minifigure of the Marvel CMF Series 2. This Moon Knight minifigure is exceptional and absolutely a must-have for your collection. On to 7th place, we have Aloy from set 76989, the Horizon Tall Neck. You may have heard me go on about this minifigure before because I've always said just how good this minifigure is. It's a really vibrant minifigure with lots of cool and bright colours. The attention to detail on this minifigure is also really good. And you've got a unique hairpiece which is not to be found on any other minifigure, which even has that little hole so you can even see printing on the side of the headpiece which has her little robotic interlink. A really neat touch that takes this minifigure to the next level. Moving on to 6th place, we have Captain America from the Marvel CMF Series 1. I absolutely adore this minifigure. When I first got my hands on it, I couldn't believe just how good this minifigure is. Honestly, I would think you're absolutely crazy if this minifigure isn't in your top 10 best minifigures. It is simply exceptional. In my opinion, it's the best minifigure from any of the CMF series. Absolutely everything on this minifigure is perfect. The arms, the legs, the torso, the wings, even the little Falcon drone accessory that comes on the back of the minifigure just looks amazing. There's just no way I couldn't have this minifigure high up on this list. On to 5th place now, we have Queen Amidala from set 9499, the Gungan sub. An absolute holy grail among LEGO Star Wars fans, this minifigure is exceptional. What makes her so unique is obviously that hairpiece and the dress piece. It's a minifigure that will stand out in anyone's collection, no matter how big or how good that collection is. Moving on to 4th place now, we have the Silver Centurion, which is a special Iron Man suit, which appeared in one of the Age of Ultron polybags. And this minifigure is now very expensive. Many regard it as the best Marvel minifigure of all time, and I certainly don't disagree with that. The best part for me about this minifigure is those dual moulded arms, both of which have really good printing and detail on them. If you're a big LEGO Marvel fan, this minifigure needs to be in your collection because it is perfect. In at 3rd place is Boba Fett from the UCS Slave 1. This is the newer version of the Boba Fett minifigure. The original Cloud City Boba Fett minifigure walked so that this minifigure could run. I really do doubt that LEGO will ever beat this design for the Boba Fett minifigure. It's fantastic. The printing on the torso in particular is about as detailed as you'll get on any LEGO Star Wars minifigure. You've also got printing on the arms, which up until recent was very rare for most LEGO Star Wars minifigures. And you've also got that cloth pauldron, which looks very good. In at 2nd place is Darth Malgus, which appears in set 9500, which is the Sith Fury class interceptor. I regard this minifigure as the best LEGO Star Wars minifigure of all time, and it was well within its rights to finish 2nd place on this list. One thing I adore about this minifigure is the face printing. It really is so creepy, and it really does perfectly portray the Sith look. He's got those glaring yellow Sith eyes, it just looks amazing. And then you've got that awesome chest mould, which looks fantastic. I love the way LEGO even integrated his breathing apparatus into that mould. Simply sensational. And now we're moving on to first place for the best Lego minifigure of all time. This is just my opinion of course, but for me the best minifigure of all time has to be Mr. Gold. Only 5,000 were ever made of this minifigure. This insanely rare minifigure is also one of the most expensive minifigures money can buy. And the only way you could get this minifigure was by pure luck, by opening packs of the Series 10 CMF series. As for the minifigure itself, I just absolutely love it. I think it's so iconic. Mr. Gold really does give me Monopoly Man vibes. I think there's just something so cool about having a minifigure called Mr. Gold being absolutely fully clad in gold. Yes, I know his hands are white, but other than that he is fully gold. It's just an awesome minifigure, minimalistic in details when it comes to the printing. But I don't know, for me, I just absolutely adore this minifigure, and for me, it's the best Lego minifigure of all time. Anyway guys, there we have it for my top 20 Lego minifigures of all time. Let me know down in the comments what is your favourite minifigure. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.